TV. Today it's a special day. India is celebrating 75th Independence Day. On this special day, we have a special guest, Dr. Pallavi Prakash, the eminent author, filmmaker, international motivational speaker, clinical psychologist, TV panelist, founder of KSLC and PPI. Having a special guest on this special day really makes this program very, very special. But before going into the program, let us invite Her Excellency Dr. Pallavi Prakash to speak a few words about herself. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Raja Rao. At the onset, thank you so much for such a warm welcome. And let me extend my heartiest congratulations to each and every Indian, whether residing on our nation's land or overseas. A very, very cherishing, memorable, and full of joy and advancement 75 years of freedom. So a big salute to our country and a big salute to all the people who have been instrumental in showing us this day. So I'm very, very proud to be an Indian. And today for their experience as an Indian, and on a perspective, take a look at 75 years of major milestones, major happenings, and the major growth gap analysis of a nation. So I'm looking forward to this wonderful one-to-one interaction. Dr. Raja Rao himself is a very, very learned man, and he is a great person who always brings a lot of light to the entire platform he curates. So yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction of yourself. Really, we are honored to have your presence again. And so let's move into the program. India is celebrating its 75th Independence Day. Because the nation is celebrating, all the people happily involved into this part, because we have seen so many achievements, so many milestones, so many remarkable incidents happened during this 75 years saga of India. But what, according to Dr. Pallavi Prakash, what are the milestones that are set by India during this 75 years journey?
Absolutely. It has been a long way, Dr. Rao. 75 years is like traveling through the ups and downs, through smiles and through cries, through pleasures and through wines, and through a lot of technological and scientific advancement, isn't it? But I would like to, bring things, because this is a very important interview, and I'm sure that our youth would be relating to it, because I'm known as a motivator. I'm known to connect with youth more. So I would like to speak something which I have outlined, which would impact youth in this interview. So as per my perspective, my opinion, the 75 years of Indian independence has seen major advancement in, number one, scientific and technological developments. Number two, development in agricultural technologies. Okay, I would also like to bring your attention to few important movements or few important, milestones which we have achieved in agricultural technology. Number one, as I hope that few people remember, 1960, the Green Revolution, then 1970, the White Revolution. These two were two important revolutions which really paved the way to the modern agricultural technological system of a nation. So people, youngsters especially, who are listening to my interview, who are viewing this, they can even learn a lot from the pointers which I'm bringing forth. Okay. The second important milestone, Dr. Rao, as per my perspective, is a development of defense technology. Our defense has, progressed by leaps and bounds. Number one, there was a need, definitely. And number two, besides the need, we have that innate skill to do some research, innate skill to use our knowledge and brain to the utmost limit. So I would like to bring your attention to 1958, when the DRDO, that is Defense Research and Development Organization of India, was set up. A very momentous year, 1958. So that was another leap. Then 1989, when the first Agni missile was successfully launched. So that was a big moral booster for our scientists. 1998, when India conducted the Pokhran-2 test, another milestone in defense technology advancement. Then 1963 saw the India's first ever rocket launch. Marvelous, isn't it? 1975, we saw a first satellite Aryabhat, which though we were very young, most of us, we were just born, but to the people who are in 1950s and born in 1940s, they can relate to my statement that the first satellite Aryabhat launch was a big moral booster for India. Because before that, India used to look towards other nations for satellites. Then came, after a few decades, 2008, which I'm sure students who are listening to me right now can relate. The Chandrayaan-1 was launched. And I'm sure that all of us remember seeing it on television, seeing how nervous we were with fingers throttling when the yacht was about to be launched and the successful conduct of it. Yes. Then 2013, we saw our Mangalyaan was launched. So these were major development in defense technology. We should really, put these points forth in this interview. Then the third important milestone, as per me, is the advancement in healthcare sector. Because friends, if, however you progress as a nation, if your people, they are not properly nourished, if your people are not disease-free, if your people are not well mentally and physically, you cannot go a very long way. I'm sure most of you agree with me. So healthcare sector was another important sector which had to, it was natural for our government to have focus on that. And I'm really glad that the government early, even after the independence, the attention was 30% attention was on the healthcare sector. So 2014 saw polio eradication. There was complete eradication of polio in India. And India is the only nation which is declared as polio-free at a very rapid rate in the year 2014, right? So 2012, I would like to bring that we saw Western Ghats designed as World Heritage Site by UNESCO. So this is another advancement which has to be discussed, which is rarely talked about in talk sessions. So 2010, we saw achievement in sports. India won 101 medals in Commonwealth Games, commendable. So after the defense and sport, then development in education. Education system has, there was a need also, I would say, Dr. Rao, plus there was a big gap also. When we do gap analysis, the education system had to be changed by leaps and bounds, and it is still changing. As educators, we know how important it is to keep in tandem with the changing time, right? So development in education sector has been momentous. Then another important point which I would like to bring forth is there has been development in industries also, industrialization, right? We have seen that a lot of new skill development projects and the industries have come up, especially in the last 2 decades. So these have been some of the very major advancement milestones, I think, which India has achieved. And I'm trying to speak something different.
Yes,
so that answers your first question.
Really, it's a series of events. You have given, it's a very beneficial to students and youth, as you said, really, because you started from the inception and 1947 to 2022, the way you have brought all the events in a order. That's really fantastic. Thank you, HS. Thank you so much. Of course, we have so many achievements, so many milestones, because we have people like you, visionaries, and so naturally it happens because our people are working very hard since 1947, and We made so many milestones, but in spite of all these milestones, in spite of all these achievements, still there are some certain areas that we are lagging behind. So what are, Dr. Pallavi Prakash, what are the areas that India is lagging behind? Why still people are suffering in poverty? Why still there is malnutrition, hunger? Why all these things are happening in our country? When is the day that we proudly say that our India is a developed country? What is that answer to this question, and we are expecting from you?
Right. I think that's a very apt question, Dr. Rao. And, we should definitely bring this question up in this kind of discussion. During my 20 years of global talks, global seminars, I've always spoken about something, that how much ever we advance in technology, in defense mechanism, in industries, but if we did not pay attention to few very, very important, pertinent points, then we will not grow as a nation. So like all other nations, our country is also lagging behind in few things, which I would like to bring everybody's attention. And if we can be a drop in the ocean in bridging this gap, that would be marvelous, right? So number one is, still, though we talk about gender equality, we talk about gender equality in cosmopolitan terms, but gender equality is still lagging behind when we go to our rural areas, when we go to the grassroots level, because India is a big country, it's a big and diverse country, right? Of various languages, of various mindset, various religions. So we cannot just have a ground rule that yes, 10% of metro women, they're doing good, so gender equality is there. No, because I'm a filmmaker also, right? So I've made a film on gender equality, which received 3 Chief Ministers Award also in 2018 and 19. So I know the difference between drawing room talk and the actual reality. So gender equality is still a far cry. It has to be bridged, and it can only be bridged by sound education. It can only be bridged if each one teaches one. It can only be bridged if you take the onus yourself. You do not blame your government. You do not blame your country. You do not blame all other factors who are adding to gender equality. Why don't you take the onus yourself? Why don't we start being that drop in the ocean, which I always say? So don't wait for anything. Each one teach one. Okay, if we take responsibility of one person funding the education, if you have been, powered by God to at least fund, sponsor, and qualify one child, then the entire situation, the entire scene would change. And from there, the actual gender equality would start. Because when education will come in, negligence would go. When negligence will go out of the window, women will know their rights, women will know how to protect themselves and make them stand as equals in real terms. So number one is gender equality. Number two, as an international speaker, as an international motivational and corporate speaker, I always say that we are very good in our education, right? Indians, they are considered to be intelligent people. We have gray cells in a place. But are we, is it converting into skills? We have knowledge, but sometimes we do not have skill to earn money. So that is the gap. India is lagging behind skill development programs, which recently our Honorable Prime Minister has definitely paid a lot of attention, and he has launched a number of skill development programs, but still we are talking about 75 years. Right? So 75 years skill development has not been paid attention. And if this area is really paid attention, then our youngsters will have more employment opportunities. They'll not go without food in the stomach, and families would not suffer. So let's convert our knowledge into profession. Let's develop the skill, not only degrees. Let's not only pile up the degrees, but develop, upgrade ourselves in our skills in whatever way we are equipped at. So these two important areas, has to be, highly focused on. Dr. Rao, yes.
Fantastic excellency. Really, that's the need of the hour, whatever you have mentioned. Really, we feel very happy. But at the same time, we want to know, of course, you are a celebrity, public figure, you are doing commendable job. But we are supposed to ask this question because this answer will inspire so many people to put forward their contribution to the nation. So what, according to Dr. Pallavi Prakash, what is your contribution? What is your contribution to our nation and our society? As a citizen of India, what is your contribution to our nation?
Right. And this is a very important question, I must say. Thank you for asking that, because, we are very good in giving a lot of seminars and lectures, but we do not introspect, right? So today on this platform, I would urge each and every Indian who's listening to this interview that please take a pledge that you yourself would do your duties solemnly. You would fulfill your role as a citizen first in nation development. And what are those? I'm going to highlight. So as Dr. Pallavi Prakash, I'm doing this duties since years, and I'm sure that after probably you would get motivated and start doing your duties. I'm talking to all the youth who are listening to me today, right? Like Dr. Raja Rao is a big figure himself. So people like him, people like others, people like us, we are doing it. So, but each and every person has to do it. There has to be a zero error system, right? So number one, if you're earning, pay your taxes on time. Do not refrain from, saving taxes in any way, because it is your taxes which is going to add to the government money. And if government will have fund, only then it can pay attention to the development work. It is a cycle, right? Number two is exercise your rights to vote, please. Indian government has given, a democracy. We are the largest democratic nation, right? So our constitution has given us a lot of right. So you can change the seat of the power, right? One vote has that power. So exercise that vote, my dear friends, from today. Do not go unvoted, okay? Discourage corruption, which I do. Okay, neither enter, always wherever you see in your surroundings, discourage bribing, educate people how they can follow the rules and regulation if somebody is doing it. Okay, this is being a responsible citizen, that if you do it yourself, if you discourage bribing, or if you catch hold of someone, then you will be a role model yourself, and if you can do it, others can do it. So these three things are: discourage corruption, number two is pay the taxes on time, number three is exercise your vote, so that a proper government an educated system can be there to rule this lovely country of ours, that is India.
That's so awesome. Thank you so much. So it is a special day. India is celebrating 75th Independence Day. So from this platform, what is the message that Dr. Pallavi Prakash sending to our youth, our nation's youth at this moment? May I know your message? Please, thank you.
Absolutely. So my only message is, you start believing in yourself. If you believe in your self-power, then sky is the limit. Do not wait for any magic to happen. There's no magic. There's only one magic, that is your inner strength, which God has given to each and every person, right? So just unleash your strength. You might be good in anything. So use that and, help others rise in their lives. That is, if one person, by sheer value of his self-confidence and self-belief, can change the life of others, then just calculate, millions of lives would change. So my only message to youth is self-belief and positive thinking. That would change. And these are the only two magical words. I've spoken on so many seminars, and believe me, these are the only two magical words which exist in this world. So let me extend my heartiest Independence Day wishes to all my lovely people who are listening to me through this platform, and my heart full of gratitude and love to Dr. Raja Rao for always coming up with such wonderful programs. And I would like to meet personally also, with him very soon. So that was all. Thank you so much, Dr. Rao, for honoring me, inviting me.
Wow. Thank you, Excellency, Dr. Pallavi Prakash. First of all, gracing this program, and you made this special, because already the day is special as India is celebrating 75th Independence Day. And with your presence, it made more. You made it more special. Thank you so much for your wonderful presence. I thank on behalf of our Times India TV viewers, and we hope that soon we'll meet in some other program. Thank you.